everyone. It's your girl Tina. How's everyone doing this morning? I am in my bathroom, as usual, getting ready for work. And so if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so. Now, I left off about my how I ended up here in Oklahoma City with my 6 children at the time. And I decided to tell my story because it is so much going on in marriages and men cheating, women cheating, and I'm really talking from the woman's perspective, of course, because of course I am a woman. So I decided, instead of speaking on somebody else's business, I decided to speak on my own. And so some people have heard my story, but a lot of people haven't, especially people back home, because I ended up just leaving in the middle of the night. I left at like midnight in March of 1996 at midnight with 6 babies, leaving from home. And so, you know, that was kind of what I did. But going back, as I left off, we had just bought a home in Raleigh, Tennessee, which was at the time, you know, and it probably still is, like a suburb area. And it was a beautiful home. At this point, my ex-husband and I, we had decided, listen here, if we gonna be together, if we're gonna, we don't need to be doing all this arguing and all this fighting. So that's what I thought we had decided. I felt like that he had been cheating, but I didn't have any proof. So I just decided, you know what, I'm putting this in the Lord's hand. I'm not going to worry about that. I don't have time to worry about that. I got kids to raise. And I'm just going to continue to try to be the best wife and mother that I could be. That's what I decided. And so when we first got married, he worked for his father. And then at some point he started, matter of fact, it was in 1990, he became an over-the-road truck driver. And I know that's when he became one, because I had just had our second son, Daniel.
They all like to talk other times, but now they don't want to talk. But anyways, the Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he gets old, he will not depart from it. Did I get that right, Pastor? So, with that scripture in mind, I always want to say thank you for training us up the way we were supposed to be, especially like taking us to church, which we definitely did not like going to church. At least twice a week, and her motto for going to church was, you can't just sit in church, you have to do something. And it was annoying, had to be in the choir, or had to do something, had to be an usher or something. But I thank you for that, because now I'm doing everything in the church. I remember when I started playing the drums, because she told me I had to either sing in the choir or play the drums. I didn't know how to play the drums, but I just know I didn't want to sing. I taught myself how to play the drums because of her. So I just want to say thank you. Like they said, you kept us all together. Statistically, that's impossible. You really don't see many people with 6 kids and move to different states and they all stay together. Credit to the Demetrius for being crazy to marry you. But y'all both always kept a roof over our head, food on the table, and really couldn't ask for more. We joke with my friends all the time about how y'all got us the best shoes for basketball every year. We weren't wearing the same basketball shoe every year, especially me because mine grew out. I grew mine very fast, but y'all got us different shoes every year, new clothes every year. So this is just something small. We can't thank you enough, but it is what it is.
Yeah. When he started to go on the road, and I remember my dad congratulating, or my stepmom at the time, Vera, congratulating us because, of course, that meant, finances were going to start to be a little bit better. And so it was around, I had Daniel in October, and it was around that time that he became an over-the-road truck driver. So I always had money to do things. I was a housewife. And so how we operated, a lot of people don't know this, yes, I am spoiled. I'm still spoiled. And he had me spoiled. I will, give him that. At one point, he did have me very spoiled. But this is how we operated in our marriage. I was the type of wife that his money went to the bank. And I say his money, it was really our money. But at the time, just kind of taught and was in the mindset that it was his money. So the money would go to the bank, direct deposit. I would not touch that money. I don't care if a child needed a diaper. I didn't touch it until he called and said, okay, pay this bill, pay this much in tithes. I'm going to take this much for the road. You put this much in savings, and you and the kids can have the rest. And it wasn't chump change. That's how we were running the household. Now, as I said, some people didn't agree with how he treated me as far as his wife. Whatever I asked for, he did his best to try to get it for me. Especially when he started working over the road. He did his best to try to get. I remember I was pregnant with our first son, and he raked my dad's big old yard for $75 just so I could get this outfit I wanted. So, that's kind of how we ran the household. So I continued that on when we moved into this house. That's what I would do. Well, I started noticing that when we bought this house, he started not, he would take, be on the road, wouldn't come home. If he did, he was in and out. And then I started noticing that the money that would go to the bank, it wouldn't be enough to cover bills. And at this point, I'm pregnant with our last son. And so then the lights get cut off, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? So it wasn't until my sister-in-law at the time told my sister. I don't know if she told my mom or she told my sister. I don't know which one she told first, or if she even told my mom. But I think she told my mom that he had made the statement to her and her husband that he wasn't sending his money home to take care of no wife and kids. I wanted all the kids, so that's on me, or whatever the case may be. And it wasn't that I wanted all the kids. It was the culture that I was raised in, that you had children and multiply. You don't get your tubes tied. It's a sin to do that. That's what I was raised in. So it wasn't so much that I wanted all the kids. It was, I feared God. And I was taught that this was a sin against God. So that's what the issue was at the time. And so, but he made that statement. And I think my sister found out that he made the statement. And she went, and remember I said, we didn't do anything unless we talked to our pastor. She went and asked our pastor, was it okay to tell me? Because she felt like her sister needed to know what was going on. And so he told her she could. And she did. Now, I was like, oh, okay. He said he ain't gonna take care of these kids. Well, by this point, I was kind of having issues with the pregnancy. And so I ended up calling his mother, because at this point, some girl started popping up, and she would be at his mother's house. And so I called his mom, and I'm like, okay, who is this girl that I keep hearing about? Oh, it's just one of my friends. I said, oh, okay. I said, I hope that's all she is one of your friends. I said, because let me tell you something. I am a mother. I am a mother of 4 sons, getting ready to be 5, and I'm a mother of a daughter. I said, but as a mother of 4 sons, I am a woman first. I said, and as a woman, there is no way under the sun that I would allow my son to be in my home and mistreat his wife, let alone the mother of his children. I wouldn't do it. Well, no, she's just a friend. One of my friends. I said, okay, all right. And I got on off the phone. Well, by this time, I'm like, okay, I need to figure out what's going on. So he was working at a company out in Olive Branch, Mississippi. And so it was, at that point, his money stopped going direct deposit. And he would have his mother pick up the checks for him. So now it's not going direct deposit, and your mom is picking them up. Well, of course, I was pregnant, having difficulties. That was fine with me. That's okay. But when I would get the checks, they wouldn't hardly be anything. So I'm like, what is going on? Well, I haven't been getting loads. Well, you ain't been coming home, so what do you mean? You ain't been getting no loads. So which is it? So I said, okay, all right. So what I did was, the Friday that he was supposed, the last Friday that I was at the house, I got up, I got all my children dressed, I got dressed, I loaded them in the van, and I beat his mother to his place of employment. Went in there. Now, of course, they're going to give it to me because, of course, I was his wife, and he had not taken me off as one of the individuals that could pick up his check. So that's just how comfortable he was. So I picked up the check. And when I looked at the check, because remember, she would get the checks and she would cash them and she would bring me the money. So when I got the check and I looked at the check, I saw what was going on. He was making the money, But what he was doing was getting cash advances. And I don't know if anybody knows how the trucking industry work as far as cash advances. So you can get cash advances against your pay. And then when your pay comes in, they pull that money back out before your money actually gets deposited, or they cut you that check. So that's what he was doing. He was getting those cash advances. So basically getting the money up front so the money wouldn't come to me. And she would bring me, and I'm talking about where he was making like $1,000, over $1,000. Back in the 90s, that was decent money. So we didn't went from your checks being $1,000 hitting the account to her bringing me $100 and some dollars. Yes, ma'am, $100 and some dollars. And yes, sir, if you're a man watching. No, that wasn't finna fly with me. So when I saw the check, I told the man. Now, mind you, my sister done already told me what he said. So when I saw the check, I told the man that gave me the check. I said, oh, so he's getting cash advances and then sending me and his 6 children pennies. And by this time, it was floating around that whoever this girl was riding in the truck with him. I said, you see these 6? I said, I don't care who he got riding in that truck with him. I said, but these 6, he will take care of. I guarantee you that. And when I left there, my next stop was juvenile court in Memphis, Tennessee. So I have been on here long enough for today. I will be back tomorrow to continue this story. I told you, my story, it is a testimony because I was a housewife with 6 children, really didn't have any experience. And so the steps that I took next would change my life forever. So, all right, I will be back tomorrow to tell you some more of the story. I ain't gonna say finish, because I'm telling you, it is a story. But as you can see, I have my outfit up today. All right, baby. Like I said, it's spring. And I got these dark colors. So it's, that's kind of like a fall color, but it got the pink flowers in it. And I got this mini skirt that I'm wearing today. Hey, love me a nice, cute jean mini skirt. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. If I said something in this video that you like or interests you, go ahead and like the video. Go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll know the next time that I'm on. And if you're not already doing it already, go ahead and take the long way home. Bye.
Are we lost? Are we not? Are we real?